Once there was an old fisherman. He had a wife and 3 children, but he was very poor and he was very weak. So every time when he went out to sea, he really didn't have the strength to throw his nets into the sea very often. And other men would throw their nets into the sea many times, collect many fish, and he at most 3 or 4 times would throw his nets into the sea. One day he went out and he threw his net into the sea, and what did he get? Oh yes, a dead donkey. A dead donkey was in his net. Well, this is terrible. Not only was it not fish, but it also broke his net in several places. Then he threw again, and a second time a huge bunch of trash was in his net. Now he felt so unlucky and so cursed, really. He thought he was a very unlucky man. Third time he threw the net in, and a vase, somewhat large vase, copper was in his net. Well, this is interesting. The copper vase was sealed with lead, too. It seemed to the fisherman that something was inside that vase, but he wasn't sure, and he thought, I will sell this vase and get some money to buy wheat. But then his curiosity got the better of him, we would say, and he removed the lead cover, and out came a bunch of smoke, a lot of smoke. It seemed to spread over the sea. And then gradually that smoke gathered into the form of a genie. A huge, monstrous genie. Huge, bigger than any giant. And so the genie said, thank you for letting me out. And the fisherman said, now there are some things I want you to do for me. And the genie said, don't speak to me in that way. In fact, I will give you one wish, and that is, you can tell me how you want to die. What? I released you, and that's how you're going to reward me? Yes, it is, and I will tell you why. I made war with another giant genie, and that genie succeeded in defeating me and put me into this vase and threw me into the ocean. I vowed that if anyone would release me during the first 100 years when I was under sea, I would make that person richer than all the kings of the world. Nothing happened. During the second 100 years, I vowed that I would make that person a very rich person. Nothing. Third 100 years, I vowed that I would make that person a king. No one. Finally, I became discouraged and angry, and I said, whoever releases me, I will grant that person only one wish, and that wish will be how that person wants to die, because I will kill that person. So that's why, Mr. Fisherman, that is your reward. Now tell me how you want to die. So the fisherman complained, this doesn't seem fair at all, especially since I was good enough to release you. A good story, really, because it wasn't out of goodness that he released the genie. It was just an accident. He never had a good motive for anything. But now, this being a folk tale, the folk hero has to be witty, find some witty way to outwit his oppressor. This might remind us a lot of Book 9 of the Odyssey, where Odysseus is caught in the cave of the Cyclops and must use his wits to escape from that giant Cyclops. Very parallel situation. Okay, so the old fisherman got to thinking, I don't believe that you came from that bottle even. You are such a giant, you could not possibly fit in that vase. And so the kind of stupid genie said, oh yeah, well watch this, and back into the vase. And he shouted, now do you believe that I can do that? Now, tell me how you want to die. But before anything more could happen, the fisherman put the lead cover back on the vase so that the genie was once again stuck there. And he built a small landmark next to the sea to warn other people about this wicked genie. And finally, he threw the vase back into the ocean. Now, what the story doesn't say is probably the point. That is, probably the fisherman now realizes that really he's quite fortunate, that he should, as we say, count his blessings, that he was much more fortunate than he thought he was, because he was feeling much self-pity, feeling very unlucky. And now, after a near-death experience, probably he feels much more fortunate to be alive. Thank you.